had so much fun interviewing Miss Denise Boutte. Shout out to her for coming on the show today. She was so warm, giving. I mean, she dropped some true nuggets to success for all you guys out there who want to make it big in Hollywood. She revealed some secrets. Her cookbook's coming out. I mean, she has a lot of great things going on. But thank you so much for coming on the show today, you guys. Make sure you stay tuned to the interview.
Hey there, everybody. This is your girl, Denise Boutte, and you are watching Kat Harvey, Success and Nothing Less. Tune in.
Hey, what's up, world?
Deep breath.
Okay. Hey, what's up, world? I'm Kat Harvey, CEO of the top-rated show, Kat Harvey, Success with the Less. I'm so hyped to have one of my favorite actresses with us today. She needs no introduction. When I first saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, she's representing for the brown women. She's so cute. She's actually, you know, I was just amazed at how much work you have done, and I'm just in awe. You know, she's a mother, she's a wife, she's a public speaker, always pouring positive energy into people. And I see that she loves to cook. I need her cookbook to hurry to come out.
Honey, hush. Absolutely. Look, speaking of cookbooks, I have look. I come prepared, baby. Don't play.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That crawfish cornbread need to come over here too. That I saw.
Had it for Thanksgiving.
So without further ado, please welcome the beautiful, the drop dead gorgeous, the talented.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Awesome. Doing this cross country. You're in DC and I'm in Cali. Yes. Hence the arms out, because it's like, I don't know, almost 70 outside today. So
I'm jealous. It's like,
I know,
and it's wet.
I know. I just left there. Yeah, I just left there 3 weeks ago. So I'm needless to say, but I thoroughly enjoy DC.
That's good.
Thoroughly enjoy DC. It wasn't just about the work. I actually got a chance to experience the city. So I totally enjoyed myself. The African American History Museum, I just told you right now, is an absolute must.
So, you know, when did you fall in love with acting? You know, especially before the money started rolling in. How did you know that it was for you?
Well, first of all, you don't do it for the money. Acting is definitely anything arts oriented. I think anything in life in general is a sacrifice. I didn't know I liked acting. I really and truly didn't. I was going to school originally for pre-med, very quickly found out that was not for me, and I was never going to be a doctor because I'm a germaphobe. How the heck are you going to be a doctor and you're a germaphobe, right? So that was definitely not for me, but I wasn't really exposed, and it wasn't until I left, the village of Maurice that I grew up in, that once I went to LSU, thankfully earned a scholarship because my parents couldn't have afforded to, send me there otherwise, that I was exposed, to other people and other majors and what else existed. And this sounds pretty pathetic, but I met a dear friend of mine, Danielle, and she was in mass communications. And I was like, well, I can talk. I can do that. My God, I can make money talking? Woo, sign me up. And honestly, I shadowed, went into one of her classes and kind of sat in the back. And I was like, oh, I can do this. And that's what I did. But I knew that in order to be successful, I had to intern. And so I started out at a local TV station and WBRZ in Baton Rouge, and did that and was a beat reporter. That kind of got really discouraging really quick because it was rough. It was very discouraging in that it was bad news. A lot of times that's why people say they don't turn on the news. We have to be aware, but it was a lot of sadness. It was really sad. And so I was like, okay, unless I can do entertainment journalism, deuces, I'm out. And so I went into advertising, and advertising felt good. And so I interned at an agency in Dallas, Texas. They gave me a job out of school, started working there. And I went to 5 agencies in 4.5 years. 5 agencies in 4.5 years, because that's how you move. That's how you move up the ranks. And so that's what I did. And by the time I was done, I was an account director. So I was really good at what I did, but I just kind of was like, it's bored. You know what I'm saying? I would get bored. That was part of it. Not only the upward mobility, but also the, is that it? Okay, next, you know, that the excitement, the thrill would be gone really quickly. A local agent reached out to I and 3 other people at Fossil and wanted to know if we wanted representation. We laughed at it. We took the meeting. Needless to say, I signed with them and things started happening. And it was just like, okay, God, what are you trying to tell me? Yeah, the story is just not so cut and dry. And it's just like, that was it. You know, and so I pretty much was like, okay, you obviously you're trying to hit me over the head with something, God. And it felt good. It felt good. It felt invigorating. The excitement that would be gone from my jobs when I would be there for a few months or whatever, when I was on set, there was nothing like it. If I can continue to get this thrill, I'm so there. And so I loaded up the truck, gave myself a time frame, and was like, if certain things don't happen within a certain amount of time, that's why I had nothing to lose. That to me, whenever you're in the arts, you have to feel like you're throwing caution to the wind and you're going to free fall and you have nothing to lose. And that was me. I didn't have formal training. I didn't have nothing. I came out on a wing and a prayer. And, you know, whatever savings I had built up, and I had a husband, thank you, Jesus, that believed in me, was like, hey, go for it. You know, go for it and see what happens. And thank God it happened.
When did you have to, I guess, trust God the most, you know, in your career?
And I'm going to knock on wood because nothing's easy, but I will say that I was the exception to the rule when I came here. I'm not going to say easy, but I was very blessed very early on. And I think after I had my daughter, there was a lull. I thought that because I'd been on a series and because I had success, that I wasn't going to have to shuck and jive in that room as hard as I did before. And so I thought that I was going to get right back in the game. I thought it was going to be like, hey, seamless transition. All right, baby's here. Let's do this. Get my body back. I'm right back in the game. And it wasn't that easy. It was not that easy. And I learned the hard way that it's feast or famine. And if you're not working even more so during the feast to manifest that into other things. See, when you got traction and you got momentum, that's when people are listening. That's when people are hearing you. That's when you can pitch. That's when you can do another a movie. That's when you can use that momentum to manifest into other things. When you got crickets chirping, people forget you exist. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this business is. It's new, now, next. And so if you're not constantly reinforcing to people your presence and your ability, they forget. And we thought Browns was coming back. That's another thing. We had no idea. I mean, like Dave, Tam, Lamont, we were all like, hey, you heard something? You heard anything? You know, we didn't know. We didn't know. And then lo and behold, a few like months afterwards, that's when the big announcement of the merger between Tyler and OWN came. In order for you to reap what's next and the Lord to bless you with what's next, you've got to put to bed, you have to be grateful, you have to be thankful, and you have to know that it was for a season and a reason in order to receive the next thing.
Wow, that's deep.
No, thank you. Girl, it's just the truth.
Oh my God. Oh my.
I ain't no preacher, girl, but
that's the truth though. It really
is the truth.
It really
it is absolutely the truth.
You know, I was watching you talk about vulnerable, you know, especially when it comes to relationships, but what's the ideal role, you know, for you that you will feel the most vulnerable in?
I'll tell you what role I want, and it has nothing to do with vulnerability, girl. It's quite the opposite. But anybody that saw For the Love of Ruth, that was on TV One, and for me, it was awesome and it was liberating, and I had to be the most vulnerable because it wasn't about the hair, it wasn't about the makeup, it wasn't about being cute, and for me, this was an opportunity for me to prove to people that I don't need all that for you to watch my performance. It was one of the most amazing, invigorating experiences I've ever had. I mean, the fact that shout out to TV One, shout out to Swirl Films. They gave me an opportunity to portray a character that no one else had ever seen me as. You know, I'm always vixen chick. I'm coming in jacking a man. I'm coming in high power, you know, which is fun. Don't get it twisted, which is fun. But they allowed me to be noticed for the art. Shout out to them. Christine Swanson, who was the director, who is like now a very, very dear friend. It was a beautiful, amazing emotional journey. Gary Jordan, whose work I thoroughly enjoyed on CSI for years, just, you know, he allowed me to free fall, and it just felt amazing. Oh God, Loretta Devine. You know, I mean, it's like, that's a pinch yourself kind of moment. And honestly, it was like 4 days into filming that we were right before a scene. I think we were, it was like we're at a restaurant, we were outside, and there was a moment, and I said, Loretta, I've got to tell you, I was so nervous about playing alongside you. I was even like, can I hold my own across from Loretta Devine? And I was like, 4 days in, I can confidently say, I think I got this, girl. I think I got this. She's like, oh, baby. She's like, you know you got this. I mean, like, and she gave me the most honest and sweetest of words about what she thought about me as a professional, me as a person, me. And I was just like, I mean, I get emotional just thinking about it. And she poured so much into me. I just used it. And she's just, I mean, a fascinating, beautiful human being on so many levels. But I will never forget that experience. Now, what do I want to do next? I want to kick some you-know-whats. I want to be, I'm not saying a superhero. I don't know what this is, but I want to be strong. I want to be fierce. I want to be, think Angelina Jolie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay. I want to pow, you know, whatever, girl. I don't have these guns for nothing, okay? We are going to do something. Rock, what's up? I'm calling you The Rock. Yes, you. That's what I want to do. That would be my dream.
I think you make a great Wonder Woman.
Sign me up, girl. Sign me up. I'm serious. I would love, I mean, that's what, I mean, I would love, I mean, dream role, hands down, that would be it. I want to kick some derriere.
What's 2 things that you felt like you had to get rid of, you know, in order for you to be where you are right now?
I think fear creeps up on anybody. You know, you would think that, you know, oh, she's fearless. I think that because this business is so unpredictable and you don't know what's next or whatever, that's where your faith has to take total, like, control. I don't care how much success you've had. There are times or whatever where you have to put your faith and trust in him. And I will say that another recent experience has taught me that when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. I am very instinctual until I was like proven to myself 1,000 times that my instincts were very on point. I would always give people the benefit of doubt. And now I very much so trust my instinct, but there was a person that I had formed a business relationship with who basically showed me who they were one too many times. And I continue to make, you know, not say excuses, but to be like, okay, here's why that wasn't working for me. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how I do business. Okay. I know how you roll, but this is how I do it. So if we're going to continue this partnership, we got to come to an agreement or whatever. The way you roll in and the way that's 2 totally different things. And I gave this person one too many chances.